that had been set up much earlier.
Okay. Then I call this meeting to order at 10:04. I will read the land acknowledgement. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hadiwandawung, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. Are there any declarations of interest?
No.
No? Okay. Then can I have somebody to move and somebody to second the agenda, please? Joe has moved, Tom has seconded. All in favor? Yes. Anyone opposed? Nope, then that is carried. Can I also have a mover and a seconder on the adoption of the minutes of the meeting on June 27th, please? Joe has moved, Councillor O'Hare has seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? Then that is carried. Hi, Ricardo. Nice to see you. Correspondence. Any correspondence that any of you have received?
Not from me.
I have actually corresponded with Milan, the owner of the Edward Beatty House. We talked about that briefly at the last meeting, that work on the roof had seemed to have commenced. He confirmed that the roof was repaired. And we also briefly talked again a little bit about doing a presentation to the real estate community in the city in the fall. Milan is a real estate agent and very much interested in having his colleagues and himself be informed about heritage properties and what to do when one comes on the market, both from the real estate perspective and also from the potential buyer's perspective. So that will be coming up in the fall. We have agreed that we'd touch base in late summer and set up something. Joe, you and I can then maybe meet with him and figure out how to best do that. He even suggested to do this on a regular basis, not just once, if we are willing. So we can
Sure.
talk about that too.
Yeah, the more the better.
Exactly, yeah.
Reach out to more people. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, financial. Invoices for payment. I know Mark's invoice for the balance of the new website has come in. It's been sent to probably Nick Bogarts or our staff rep, and then handed on to either Morgan or Matthew, I imagine. I did send Matthew an email about this invoice because I'm not 100% sure how to deal with it, because it was not listed. It was listed by me as a budget request when our budget came up in council. The items on the budget were shuffled around by staff, and this particular invoice was not listed. It was suggested at the time that we can ask council to pay that expense. We obviously can't ask the website designer after the fact to not be paid. This website was commissioned over 2 years ago. It just so happens that it was only finished in the last month. I'll be in contact with Morgan and Matthew about that, how to best go about that. Councillor? Oh, you can't hear me? All right. Okay, sorry. Beaver Dam's book sales, we had already agreed last time that we would transfer the books to the Lock 7 location, which will be the best outlet to sell those books. Ongoing business, properties, Beaver Dam's church. Are there any news?
I can speak through that, Madam Chair.
Great.
At the last meeting, really what they're waiting for with regards to the washroom that they're going to set up, the survey, they've got some information on where the property lines are, but they need to find out from the city what the setbacks are in order to accommodate the service lines that would be coming in from the street to the portable washroom that's going to be in the back. So that's about the only outstanding issue right now.
Okay. The Stone Store, still in the process of restoration. Has anyone seen? I actually meant to drive by this morning on the way here, totally forgot. Has anyone seen the frontage in the last few days to see whether there's anything else been done to it? Yes, Joe?
Through you, Madam Chair, when the upper portion of the facade was removed that had the brackets and it exposed some timbers underneath the wood cells, there were some workers that were there. I think it was last week. They removed the rotted wood and they've patched everything in with concrete. So I guess the next thing that they're going to be doing is replacing that upper part of the facade.
Okay. All right. Installation of history plaques. One of them, of course, also concerns the Stone Store, and will, as we said before, we'll be dealing that when the restoration is complete. Before we do any, the Dobie House is also up for a plaque, but first we have to locate those plaques. Is there any news, Councillor, from the city whether they have located them?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Steve Santos is looking very hard for them. There's many storage rooms and boxes he's going through. He's confident he'll find them. He just hasn't found them yet. So as soon as we get news, I'll report that, and then we can move forward with that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Then we defer that particular topic until they are found. Outstanding planning items, the Monroe House, we defer that too. The website's finally finished. It is up and running. It is a temporary website, as we mentioned before, since the city will be taking over the Heritage website at one point. However, because this was already in the process of being built, it was commissioned over 2 years ago, as I said, it was finished. And the old website was needed to be updated anyways. A lot of the photographs of our heritage properties were not up to date anymore. And there were also properties missing from that particular website. Don't know whether any of you, I know Joe has had a look at the website. Have a look at it. It looks nice. There's a really nice historic photograph of Thorold Front Street as the title page. It's very simple, but that's what we wanted for now, since we know that Ken and Matthew will change that website again anyway.
Or maybe not.
Pardon?
Not.
Well, they might just take it over as is, but Ken might have some ideas about, I don't know anything about websites. The simpler the better for me, but techies usually like, more interactive stuff on the site, so I don't know what they're planning there.
Yeah.
Heritage permit, Nick is not here today, so I guess we'll